All right, thank you so much. Here, the program still this morning on ITV. Now, it's still ongoing. Talking about the federal government face-off with Twitter. We understand that just before the latest one came yesterday, the president, approved the composition of the federal government's team to engage with Twitter over the recent suspension of the operation of the micro blogging and social media network service in Nigeria. And of course, we understand that the approval was announced in a statement in Abuja yesterday by the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, and also that team is to have some persons, eminent persons in the country. That was one information that came. Now, the recent one, after that, we heard that the ECOWAS court in Abuja, the ECOWAS Court of Justice in Abuja, restrained the federal government from imposing sanctions or harassing, intimidating, arresting, or persecuting Twitter. And also, it also restricted the government from carrying out such actions against any social media and social media provider as well as media houses pending the hearing of determination of the suit challenging the government suspension of Twitter operations in Nigeria. Now, this suit was put together by SERAP, that's the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, and also accompanied with other 176 concerned Nigerians talking about the Twitter ban. Now, what we're going to be talking about here today, we're going to look at the effects of this recent development, talking about the restraint that the Abuja ECOWAS Court of Justice has placed on the federal government, that the federal government cannot restrain Nigerians and media houses from using Twitter, because there's already a case in the court concerning the issue. So that's what the ECOWAS Court of Justice is saying. So we're going to look at the effects of this development, and also let's see how it's going to impact on the ongoing issue before the federal government and Twitter. Now, we've got Barrister Awo Osaige. Barrister, you're welcome to this program this morning on ITV. And also to let you know that we have Ikairo Atta, who is on standby in Abuja, and he's going to be looking at the 2023 general election, the effects of delayed passage of the Electoral Amendment Bill. He's on the standby, so when we are done here, we're going to be joining Ikairo Atta so that we'll follow him on what he has got today this morning. Barrister, you're welcome one more time.
Thank you very much.
Now, the restraint that the Court of Justice, the ECOWAS Court of Justice in Abuja, has placed on the federal government that they cannot go ahead to ask Nigerians not to use the Twitter because the case is in court. I don't know what is your immediate response to this.
Well, thank you very much. A matter in court ordinarily should not be talked about, as it were, and from all indication, the government of the day ordinarily should respect the court and do the needful. When the ECOWAS court has thrown their weight behind Nigerians and the many users of Twitter, I think it's a good one for justice, because ideally, looking at it, freedom of speech and expression is fundamental, so long it doesn't impinge on someone else's character or trying to blackmail or say some nasty stuff against other persons. So if you have words to express, you have things to say, you should do that. And again, we must look at the good thing about the Twitter, how it has helped the average person in this country, and a whole lot of persons could just get on an Android phone and then you start your business. A lot of things that Twitter has been used for, subscribing back and forth, and a whole lot of things that we cannot wish away. And again, I am not absolutely against the federal government. I believe every business should be properly regulated. Yes, if that have not been done, like they were talking about, they are doing stuff. But why now? The question is, why now? Why is it now? Why didn't you say all of this before now? We should have a system running. Governments don't exist in vacuum. You should have bodies and people, not when something come up or happen. That's when you now wake up to say, well, we need to regulate, we need to do this. No, no, no. You should do it from the beginning. Just like a case in England, for instance, if you have vehicles owners and you are involved in an auto crash, you don't need to run around. They don't see people fighting, claiming right or whatnot. When the authorities come, they fix your car, but whoever is at fault will definitely pay the insurance, and they are taking care of that. So we have a civilized system. I think that is where we should be thinking towards, other than fighting just the usual way bus driver jumps out of the car, of the bus, and then the other man says, well, you are the one. That's the same way. government should be more diplomatic in approach to issues, not just jumping out. That was very, very unfair. And I, for one, I feel very bad as a Nigerian that our governments of the day will do that. And talking about the ban and the ECOWAS throwing their weight behind, yes, from previous happenings in our country, we know it's not always an easy home ride when you talk about government obeying things like that. But again, it's an issue of fundamental rights, which is pending in court, and I think government should restrain themselves and obey, court orders and allow the ruling stand. Okay. Again, they can tell you, well, we are not under ECOWAS. Yes, or rather, we are one of those that signed the treaty to ECOWAS. But ECOWAS, how do you enforce it in the actual sense? Will they not come and enforce, except for sanctions, and won't allow you? But again, you look at the economic advantage that Nigeria has over some other African countries, other ECOWAS economic, West African countries.
Yeah.
So they will always want to, there's this thing about you have the knife and the yam. So they always believe there is so much in our country, in Nigeria, that they will always want to dance to the tune. The same, the big man playing well, what are you talking about? And we talk it over and all of that. But I think we should allow this stand because it's a true test of it. Over time, I think there was a case I read some time ago about the Jigawa government and one Mukhtar Mohammed. It was an ECOWAS fundamental right issue again, but they also said, well, because that law is not domesticated in our own
constitution,
and our laws here, it doesn't add up, and that became funny. Somebody is talking about rights. You are talking about the way it had come. Lawyers arguing back and forth. I think we lawyers should also support the good cause of things and help to build the country, rather than jumping out of the bus to say some other things away from the norm. All
right, beautiful. Now, for some people, they probably begin to see that the ECOWAS court is probably complicating the whole issue. I mean, only yesterday we understand that the presidency had to put a team together to go into and look at the issues. But the ECOWAS ruling now, is it not complicating the whole position now, the whole situation now?
With all respect to the presidency, this is a business, a private-owned business. They are not from this country, and they have probably paid some bills. I know you won't allow them to operate without demanding. If you want to look into any issue, why now? That's my question. This is not like a premeditated act. It's like what has happened is what is giving rise to.
But the ban is only 18 days ago.
Well,
just about 18 days ago, even up to a month.
A day for Twitter is billions. It's so much. They have built their businesses. It's just like I'm running a business. You ask me to shut down because certain regulations. It doesn't add up. And you are the same body, so to speak, or government that have given me rights to operate at a certain level. You may say, well, I didn't give you this, I didn't give you that. Why now? If you want to do that, then allow me be and come up with your position. And that would be it. Instead of you to say, well, I shut you down, why to play the big man? That is the mentality we should not work with in a civilized world today. Now, this is a business that has come, and Nigerians are benefiting from it. So the right of Nigeria running their business, maybe I'm doing my business there and I'm using the Twitter platform to run my businesses and I need to communicate my clients, and now I can't reach them because the government says shut down. We are trying to do that. How? I can also sue the government for infringing on my fundamental rights, and the court will hear me and give judgment. Yes, you say we'll pay you whatever. Why will government subject herself to that kind of position? It doesn't add up. That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't regulate. You set your panel or whatever team you want to put up to do the regulation. Let them come with their recommendation and present it formally to them. Not that we suspend you. Are they doing anything in Nimika? We are talking. There are more things to talk about in the country. The header killers are all over the country. We talk about banditry and a whole lot of nonsense going on around in the country. These are things that should be uppermost in the mind of not shutting down means of communication. Now, when you're shutting that down, it suggests to say... Not shutting down, only suspending, temporarily shut down. Whether it's suspended or whatever you call it, it's now, there's no free movement of activities at that level, no matter how you call it. No matter what nomenclature you want to give to it, because it says suspended. We use good words to to say things and like that. But what I'm saying, some of this business is dying, and people are crying, and they are saying this is what we need at the moment. And now this is what keeping them. Now you need to look at people moving out. They can't even go to their farms who have not addressed issues like that. We're talking of that, the Agatu killing in Benue and all of that. We just forgot about all of that. We should be more concerned with things that bring us together other than things that divide us as a country.
Now, with this development now, Nigeria, though some persons, say that, look, this is typically an internal issue. It has nothing to do with ECOWAS. But there again, the ECOWAS court has made its position known. So what do you think, how do you think it's going to impact on the ongoing issue?
Now, when you are fighting and when you're trying to fight and cry out, you don't care where you go to, whether interior. Now we're looking at whether interior or not. ECOWAS could hear issues of fundamental rights. They have cried out to them, like I just said, the Jigawa government and the Mukhtar Mohammed's case. If they have cried to ECOWAS and then they to a large extent, yes, the matter is pending back and forth and arguments is still ongoing, they can go on. I can even go to United Nations. You can go anywhere. It's your money. It's your right. Nobody can. You cannot dictate to me how to fight for my right. I can decide to go anywhere. I can decide to go to Amsterdam and shout there on the high tower there. Look at what is happening to me in my country. Look at what is happening to Nigerians. You can't say, well, why will you go that far? Why won't I go that far? Because it's my right. It's my inalienable rights. It's why I'm a human being. It's given to me and it's mine. You don't have to manipulate that. So if they go to ECOWAS, wherever the OAU, anywhere they go to, that's not government's business. Respond to it. If Leader believe Leader must come before equity, we come with clean hands. And if you are there and now issues have come up and you are talking back and forth that why are they going to still need? No.
But the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, this morning, I was going through the papers. He has said that the ECOWAS Court of Justice position is illegal. So it appears we may not.
With all respect to the Minister of Information, I have a whole lot of respect for him, being a colleague too, but at the same time, at times when I hear things, I don't want to believe, because whether they are verified or can you make such comments? What do you mean illegal? Is it not a court? Is Lai Mohammed now a court to declare what is legal and illegal? It's the court that have that power. You may not agree. It's okay that you not come out in the public domain to say it's illegal. Then you have not constituted yourself to be a court. It's only the court that can say something is illegal or was illegal. If you have any reservations about it, all you need to do is to put up an action, get on joint issues up with them, and then you straighten it up there. When you not say you are not talking to ECOWAS as you are talking to one of your subordinates, we're talking of ECOWAS that is illegal. Doesn't add up. That's undiplomatic. And it doesn't add up. I don't know what words to use that will not be very friendly with the media.
The ECOWAS courts, Barrister, from your own understanding, the ECOWAS courts of justice, do you think if you look at the tenets at which they operate with, do they do things like when it has to do with communication, information and all that? Do they go into issues like that? Because the word ECOWAS, it presupposes it has to do with economic issues concerning member states and all that.
And then communication should not come in, right? We are talking about ECOWAS, a community of states as it were. You cannot wish that away. It's all encompassing.
Oh, is it thinking of some people, some persons?
No, you try it in court.
Yeah.
Whatever you are thinking about, go to court and let the court look at it. So if it's just in your bedroom, you just thought of something and then you jump up with a bottle of wine and you start thinking, that's not how to do it. Go to court. So it's the court that will now look at it holistically. And again, you cannot be your own judge you can't be a judge in your own case. It's what you are thinking. Let somebody else think about it and decide. I think that's how we should do it. Other than saying, well, communication does not concern ECOWAS. Then how do I communicate? How does my president communicate the other ECOWAS presidents? He's not relating with them. At least my president have been using Twitter wonderfully, and he's been communicating a whole lot. Even the suspension of Twitter, Atlantis was even announced through Twitter. You get that right. You're using the same platform to suspend. It doesn't make any. I'm trying to think aloud. Now you are talking about the communication. You don't try to be petty. I think this is government, and it's for serious-minded people. If you have studied about leadership in other climes, and even some of our leaders that we can listen to, these are common. To me, it looked like a joke. I don't want to believe it because
now, what do you make
That's
of
like a
the position that some persons hold that this whole ban thing concerning the Twitter and the federal government is probably is a thing that maybe has to do with the Office of the Minister of Information because they see him more into the issue than the federal government. There is no doubt that he is an appointee of the federal government. He works for the federal government, and of course, it falls within his purview. But what do you make of this?
An indictation on the federal government. That would be a direct affront on the presidency, because if you say an arm of his cabinet is operating somoto, operating on its own, it then means that Lai Mohammed have assumed the position of the commander-in-chief, and which I don't want to believe we have two presidents in Nigeria. Whatever he's doing today now, his strength is drawn from the president. So regardless of how we see, whether he's talking to the public or he's saying anything or he comes out to say something else, is the office that connects with the presidency that is operating. So we cannot blame Lai Mohammed. Tomorrow, whatever happened, I would say the Buhari government. I've never said the government of Lai Mohammed. Lai Mohammed does not have any government. We say the Buhari-led government. His name, Muhammadu Buhari, will be called. So on that note, it doesn't really add up well how these are all escapist mentality, trying to go around it. Maybe the president is not aware. How would you say such a thing?
No, not that.
No, I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
I'm just talking aloud. I'm not saying you. The president is fully briefed, is fully informed, and well aware of what is happening. So whatever Lai Mohammed is doing, it's from the president.
Anyway, because of time here, because we are so limited, we have so much today. Ikarata is on the standby, but that's going to be some minutes away from now, and we're going to be joining Ikarata in Abuja. A very big thank you, Barrister, for joining the program this morning. The program is still on here this morning on ITV. Please stay tuned.